everyone, this is Mindy and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm going to be playing with the Tim Holtz layering dies. I honestly think this is the first time I've actually used one of them, and I wanted to show you how this came together. Now this particular set is an exclusive for a Cyber Monday deal over at Simon Says Stamp. This is Walter the Penguin. Now I will have this information over on my blog, so if you are looking to get this as a free gift right now, then it's going to give you the instructions on how to do that. So I will talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. The first thing I did was I took all the dies out of the package, and I'm kind of separating them into groups of the colors of cardstock that I want to use to die cut it out. I really followed along with the packaging, and I do that a lot when it comes to layering dies. I start out by taking a look at what is on the packaging, and then from there I can always tweak it to what I want to do. So after I had everything separated in groups, I went through my scraps of cardstock and just cut out some small strips to be able to use with my Hero Arts compact cutter. So I'm going to be having various shades of gray. I have like a light gray, dark gray. I think a lot of those grays came from Gina K Designs. I do have some greens that are going to be from Concord and Ninth. And the yellow cardstock that I'm going to be using for the feet and the beaks, I believe that was Concord and Ninth as well. I do like to use a smaller die cutting machine when it comes to small pieces like this. I find it just very handy since these all are small pieces, and then I can use my craft pick to poke everything out. Now off on the side, I am creating little piles so that I know where each piece is going to go. Things like the hat, it does have it all together on one die. So I die cut that particular one from a white cardstock, a light red, and a dark red. I do like that all of those pieces for the hat are together on one die, so I'm not losing all of those pieces. So after I have everything die cut out and in its own little small pile, then I can start assembling. To do the assembly, I do like to work on some sort of craft mat because I personally do not like glue all over my glass work surface. So I use things like the Tim Holtz Media Grip Mat. I just cut out a big piece where it allows me to work. And a lot of this I'm going to be picking up either with an embellishment wand or, like, for instance, here I'm using my reverse tweezers. I use a lot. And then I have some Connect glue that I have in a fine tip bottle. So about layering dies, I've done them before. I worked a lot with layering dies with honeybee stamps, and I always am intimidated by them. But the results are always so rewarding. I actually created another set of these penguins just because they were so adorable. And with Tim's dies, you do have kind of a very specific look. You can just see something and know that it is his brand. And I do really like these penguins. I found them fairly easy to line up and layer together. I just needed to go through my scraps of cardstock and pick out layering colors that would look good together. I also really encourage you to try new things. So for instance, if you have never used one of these layering dies, whether it's from Honeybee or Tim Holtz, I do encourage it because I am definitely one where if I feel intimidated, I don't do them. And these kind of layering sets definitely fit in that category. But once it's done, it really is rewarding. And I did not mind putting this together. Now, as far as this particular die set, it is a special over at Simon Says Stamp. It is for a Cyber Monday deal. Now, I know with Tim's stuff, it tends to go pretty quick. These are limited in quantities. So if you do want it and you're watching this, kind of in current time, be sure to head over and check it out. It gives you a code you can use and how to find it, and you can get this set for free. Now, if you happen to watch this later or it's sold out, not a big deal. Tim has a lot of these types of dies that are just as cute that you can pick up as well. And like I said, I think it's really great to try new things. So if you've never tried them before, find a small set. You don't have to go big. Find something small. A little critter like this would work really well. These are also the type of dies that are really great for using up your scraps. As I've said before, I went through my scrap bin and just kind of picked out colors. There were a couple I had to pull out full sheets of because I was looking for a particular gray, but it is a really great piece or die set to use up your scraps for. And seriously, how cute are these penguins? So now I need to create a background for these to put them on a card. So I am using this trio from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to start with the lightest color, which I believe is the Seafoam ink. I'm using a piece of Hammermill cardstock that's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I do plan on trimming it down later on, but I usually start with a full piece. So I'm using a large blending brush to apply that first light color. I cover most of the background, kind of fading off into white down towards the bottom. And then I'm going to come in with the second color that you just saw, which was Surf, go about halfway. And then I'm going to finish it off here at the top with my darkest shade out of there, which I think was Ocean. And I have kind of that nice gradient. So I'm going to use a 3D embossing folder. This is the Soft Snowfall embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. I spritzed the back of my panel with some water, and then I'm going to place this inside of that 3D embossing folder and run that through my die cut machine with the appropriate settings. I'm going to bring this back over to my work surface, and I'm going back over it with a dark color. I tried to use the ink that was left over on my brush, but there wasn't enough, so I brought my Ocean back in and just kind of lightly going over that to help bring that snowfall more to the forefront. This particular embossing folder comes from the latest release. I think that was the All the Joy release from Simon Says Stamp. It is a great subtle background, something enough to add interest, but not so much that it's going to take away from the focal point, which is my critters. Now I did trim this panel down, and I lined the back of it with some foam tape so that I can pop it up on my card front. So this is an A2 size side folding card front that I place that on, and it's going to leave me a really nice white border. Now I'm going to be using the reverse Christmas greetings sentiment. I picked one out, trimmed it down into a thin strip. I lined the back of the sentiment with black foam squares, and then my penguins, I'm putting some white foam squares. So that is going to pop it up. Now these are the thin foam squares because I already have foam tape behind it. I didn't want to add too much more dimension to it. And then I just remove the backing of the foam squares and attach my image and my sentiment. So really a simple card to put together. All the work went into these adorable penguins, and I think the glasses just totally make the penguins. They were adorable, so of course both penguins had to have the glasses. Now, of course, this information is overlisted on my blog if you want to check it on out. I'm going to have all the supplies listed down in the video description as well. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you are looking to try something new like these layering dies, I do highly recommend them. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you soon.